Hey guys, today I want to go over an important topic, which is rep ranges when working out. It's usually a topic that a lot of people really don't agree on. You have a lot of people that advocate for very high rep ranges or very low rep ranges, and I want to really help you guys know what the right rep range is for you. So, the first thing that I would say to take into account when you find the ideal rep range for you is the amount of stress that your joints can handle. Because a lot of people say when they do low rep sets that it puts a lot of stress on their joints. That's why it's really not that beneficial to be PRing every session because you're putting a lot of stress on your joints using that maximum amount of weight and that maximum force. So, you want to find a rep range that is comfortable for your joints. You could be someone who works really well in the 4 to 6 range. Be someone 6 to 8, be 10 to 12, 8 to 10. So, it all really depends on your individual circumstance, and I really find this by gauging from the top down. If you're someone who generally has some joint issues, it wouldn't be beneficial for you to start with a PR and then raise the amount of reps you do. What I would do is I would get some feeler sets, find what feels best for you. Start with high reps, do a set of that, because a set of high reps could feel like a warm up in comparison to a set of low reps. You never know what's the right one for you. The second that I would take into is fatigue. You can have a hard time progressing if you're doing sets that are so maximum high effort. If you're doing a set of 3, you might find it a little bit harder to progress if you're not working with reps in reserve. Because going that proximity to failure that fast could be a little bit hard on you and could be hard to progress. So, I would stay away from that. I would also stay away from doing incredibly high rep sets. A lot of people say this, and it's generally wrong, that high reps are there to tone the muscle. Muscle tone doesn't come from rep range. Muscle tone doesn't exist at all. You will get that look by cutting down your body fat. So, instead of that, I would really take into account your proximity to failure because you could just be doing super high rep sets with no proximity to failure and get nothing out of it. You will benefit more from your set being close to or at failure. So, those are the two things that I would really drive in when it comes to rep ranges. Me personally, I use a 6 to 8 rep range because I find it's a way that I can progress, feel strong in my joints, and have very high intensity. So all of those work together to make it so I can still build muscle. The other thing that we want to watch out for is focusing on the burn. The burn does not have any correlation with muscle growth and is its own separate feeling. They say no pain, no gain, and that's just not true. Muscle gain comes from recovery and proximity to failure. So if you hear people say things about toning the muscle or certain muscles work with different rep ranges, that's generally not true. Your body does not click every time you do a rep. Every time you curl your bicep, your brain doesn't go, oh, we're adding an extra zero point 0.2 grams of protein to that muscle. That's not the way that it works. Every muscle is similar in that way. It works via proximity to failure. Failure is what drives muscle growth. So, I would stay in a close proximity and stay away from focusing on the rep range. You could have a 12 rep set to failure, and that would be just as good as someone's 6 rep set to failure. You don't want to listen to someone who speaks entirely in absolutes with this. It's generally how you get ripped off with your information. If someone says you'll only grow muscle at a 1 to 3 rep range, don't listen to that. They tell you you'll only grow muscle from a 12 rep range or a 20 rep range. It's called a rep range for a reason. It's not an exact number. Your body doesn't work in exact numbers like that. Your body works with proximity to failure. So, again, the number one things you want to think about are your joints. You want to think about what you can recover from, and you just want to be at proximity to failure. So, that's a great way to conclude this. Have fun working out. Do what makes you happy. listen to your gut with this type of thing, have fun.